first?
One thing I forgot to add was like when rotating the phases, you have different muscle fibers. They get recruited at different levels of intensity and time and all that. Mm-hmm. When you rotate, when you're just rotating rep ranges, you got to think. I think the recovery is better because you're not hitting the same fiber recruitment every single week.
Yeah, I agree. I love
so as you rotate the rep ranges. Yeah. Some fibers that may be damaged from the previous week they're getting activated, but not as much as some others. And I really think that's why the quality and the results are better in the long run with the muscle when you do that type of training. Mm-hmm.
So,
but now I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, shit. Well, I got a good one. For this panel. It's experts over here.
It was still a lot of training, though.
How about this? This is a good one, and people have asked me this before, but
I got it.
Do you think you want me to ask the question, or are you going to do it?
Yeah, let me just so I don't lose it again.
I know he's getting old, so
no,
I'm older, but he's getting.
Yeah.
You do need a notepad.
How many times as trainers and coaches we heard, how do I bring up a lagging body part? Right? All the time. Exactly. So
people go, my abs. Look at this fat. My abs. I've been doing sit-ups.
That's a whole. We could do a whole podcast on abs.
Mark my hamstrings, my butt.
Let's just say like fat loss aside, lagging body part.
Yeah,
like muscle size.
I want to bring up my arms. I want to bring up my shoulders. I want to bring up my legs. I want to bring up my calves. I want to bring up this stuff. So how do we go about tackling that? First thing I do, I don't suggest more frequency, less frequency, more weight, less weight, more rep range, less rep range. Let me see how you're performing these exercises. Because if they are not performing them correctly, no matter how many extra frequency, extra weight, extra time under tension, if they're not connecting to the muscle, they're not going to get it to grow.
Yeah, legs is a prime example.
Right.
And
calves, like how many people have lagging calves, right? And I hear it all the time, and then I watch them do their calf training, and they're just doing that little hop thing. And I'm like, okay, you just trained your Achilles tendon. You barely even touched it. You never even touched your calf muscle. So you have to check that they're training it correctly, and that the mind muscle connection to me is everything. Mm-hmm. However, as a newbie trainer, you can gain a lot of size and mass without so much of a mind muscle connection, with sheer overload. You know what I mean? Like if you go into the gym and pick up and put down heavy fucking weight, you're gonna grow. As long as you're eating and recovering and all that kind of stuff, Right. But then when you're really trying to develop muscle as a bodybuilder, you have to connect to each individual muscle. You have to. You got to be able to.
And that's what a lot of people have a hard time getting.
And I think this was another. I think this was another Lee Haney thing. He said when he was talking about those people. And I mean, bodybuilders, there's a bit of vanity involved in it, right? And then But you often see, it's annoying to see that guy and that gal posing in the mirror. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, look at that veins, whatever. But hey, that might be their sport. They got to pose. You got to present that muscle. But I forget which. Maybe you guys can help me. I forget which bodybuilder mentioned this, but it was a quote I'll never forget. And he said. It might have been he or she, said the difference between an advanced bodybuilder and an intermediate or beginner one is the advanced bodybuilder can stand there and pose every single muscle, contract every single muscle with absolute minimal movement, And by practicing posing, bodybuilding posing, you can do that. How many standing relaxed pose? It's anything but relaxed.
Right.
Everything is flexed. If you can sit there and without movement and just say flex your delts, flex your chest, flex your traps, flex your abs, flex your quads, flex your calves, flex your hammies, your glutes, and all that kind of stuff. Without going like this, flex your arms. Flex your shoulders. Like this. No, just standing there and just if you can connect to every single muscle, then when you go and train, it's a huge difference. Huge. You don't have to go as heavy. You don't have to be under tension as longer because you're so connected and contracting that muscle.
That's a difference.
You can teach that in a reverse aspect too. Sometimes I have guys that just cannot activate, especially on a back double bicep.
Oh man.
They'll come up and they can't set it. They can't lower their shoulders to set it. So if I have them do a wide grip pull down and focus just more on not the initial bending the arms, but just lowering the shoulders, or even on the dip machine, just lowering the shoulders.
Oh, right.
And just do that really heavy. It forces them to say, it's like you're programming them. It forces them to hit that. And you're like, okay, that's what that's supposed to feel like. You feel that right there? That's what you're going for.
That's actually a really good idea.
So when they do the back double bicep, they just think about lowering those shoulders and it hits the bottom part of the back. The same with hamstrings. Teaching people, there's like a little leg twist I do with the stiff legs all the way up, or even on the lunge where I'll drive. I think it was like a quarter screw going in the ground. I'll drive the ball a foot and twist. You see Kai Green when he does lunges. He does it.
Yeah.
And that taught me to activate my hamstrings when I did my back poses.
Oh, wow.
And so, because I never knew. It was like, how in the fuck to get those to pose up? And I just had to think of exercises and think of ways to do it. And so sometimes if somebody can't pose, I'll take them over and I'll just pump a shitload of blood in the muscle they're trying to so they can feel it.
Right.
And they'd be like, okay, that exercise, that contraction, that's what you're trying to get up on stage.
Absolutely.
And what you were saying about the posing too, in here it's not a big deal because we're all bodybuilders and shit, so we're posing. Right. But my first posing coach I ever had used to wear us out and then would pose us. And he'd be like, if you can do it now, then you're going to do it better on stage. So when these guys are working out and they're tired as shit, that the posing coach always tell me that's when you do your cardio, then you go up there and you pose because you're tired, you don't want to do it. If you can hold it without shaking and convulsing and stuff everywhere, when in that state, then you can definitely do it when you're recovering.
That's a great idea because how many times have we seen it? I was there. I can't remember where I did 2 classes back to back. And then I won each one, and then I was up for the overall, and I was just I remember just going 4 times in a row without ever getting to leave the stage. I even did my routine. I did my routine, and then I had to do 3 additional comparison things. Oh my god, I was wrecked. And then the pose down.
That's what posing practice.
Waiting for your gut to fall out.
But that's where posing conditioning.
I had that time at the 2016, the Aloha Muscle, and my number had fallen off backstage. I didn't know until I got on stage, and then they were like, "Where's your number?" And I was like, "Oh crap!" And I literally just full on sprinted all the way to the back.
Which is crazy. It's not like they don't know who you are. It's not like we're at Nationals, And
then I stuck my number.
Jody, your number's missing, so
got on stage and I was like, oh shit, you're winded. Yeah. I was winding my lungs doing this, and then when it poses, I'm trying not to breathe. I'm like,
that's what we were talking about earlier about over carb loading and shit. That's something else I got to take into mind because if they're still pumping all this food down before they go out on stage. They can't breathe and hold their damn waist in.
Oh, you see some guys back there eating up, man. I'm like, whoa,
donuts and all kinds of dumb shit.
Right before it's going on stage is crazy.
I forget what show it was where I had my pro Ravante Moody. Shout out. And maybe, Tay, you can help me remember this and text me what show it was where I didn't have you eat backstage and you were like, Coach, everybody back here is grinding a ton of food.
Yeah.
I'm like, trust me, don't eat because I need your abs super tight. I need you to be able to hold in that.
Right. That's it.
But I remember him doing quite well at that show, as he's done quite well at all shows.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Phenomenal athlete.
Back to the topic.
That's
what were you going to ask?
Oh, jeez. No, what I was going to ask.
But nobody else chimed in. Just cutting you off again. How you would handle somebody with a lagging body part?
Lagging body part. I always look at form. Form's going to be definitely
most important.
Form's going to be a number one. Yeah. I know we did a video about tricep extensions, which is a huge one that always gets done wrong. People just know how to lock their shoulders in place. Mm-hmm. So extending the elbow and not
and using lats,
whole body motion. To get into it's like a Latin abs kind of thing before they ever actually extend the elbow. But from there, then I usually look at just all the other variables. Usually, not so much rep ranges or frequency. Those are kind of my two The two more my the ones that will not
least important variables. Yeah,
they're the two that I will wait.
Right,
I'll wait until there's nothing else. But one is going to be just the movement itself. Then 2 is probably going to be more that mind muscle connection. Are you actually feeling your tricep contract every time you're going down? Yeah. Are you feeling it? And are you resisting the way up? Are you doing a controlled negative motion? Mm-hmm. Then from there, usually it's going to just be more so just pumping a lot of blood and really fatiguing that muscle, but under those conditions. Mm-hmm. So making sure that they're getting that full contraction every time and that they're doing a controlled motion, not just on the positive but the negative as well. And then from there, that's where I'm usually going to go more towards just probably not necessarily like higher rep, but I'm going to usually for like triceps, something like that, I'm usually going to incorporate a lot more like giant sets and supersets. So a lot more volume, and variety within like the same, within a certain amount of time, just so that they're getting all the different motions, the different stressors, but they're really focusing on just that one body.
But something I want to emphasize to everybody listening. Guys, gals, do not marry yourself to one exercise because everyone says you've got to do this exercise to build this. The one that stands out for me was close grip bench press. You got to do close grip bench presses for triceps. It's the best way to load your triceps. You are very succcessful with close grip bench press. I remember you telling me that was one of your favorites, and you have giant alien triceps.
Before,
but
that was a good one.
Revisited that exercise so many times year after year, and I get nothing from it. Right. I get a pumped chest, and I've tried like various ranges. I've done coming off the safety bars, so I'm not starting from down here and just hitting the top. I've done the whole, grip width, spread apart, everything. I don't feel it in my triceps I do, but I can sit there with a one arm or a double arm rope down and just like they are like screaming to like
interesting,
peel out of my skin, like the pump and then the crazy burn I get, or like I get from like lying dumbbell tricep extensions is like.
I love close grips.
I know, and a lot of people, but I'm just telling you,
barbell,
just because everyone says like you can't build a back without doing heavy deads, you can't do this.
Well, that's one interesting thing. Deadlifts. I did deadlifts coming up at the beginning, and then I didn't do them that much anymore. I wouldn't do them that much. I would do lower back work here and there, but I wouldn't really do that much.
I grow better with deadlifts just from the nervous system shock.
I know. I do a lot of
I like it for that too.
I may not do it on back day, but at the very end of the week, I'll throw some deadlifts in there just to say whatever's left, I'm fucking destroying it after this.
I love deadlifts just for the whole full body metabolic shock it gives you.
I would do rack deads too sometimes, but I just a lot of heavy rows and stuff was working fine for me. So I mean
but my main point is just don't marry yourself to an exercise because everyone says this is the exercise you have to do to get big, big chest, big arms.
Yeah, you got to do squat, bench deads, or else.
Yeah, right.
I mean that's the thing. Right?
Find what works for you, because everybody's mechanically put together just a little bit different,
slightly. I mean, look, all four of us, we're all totally different body types in here.
Right, yeah.
All four completely different.
Just different, right. Exactly.
So, it's interesting, but...
All right, Mark.
Anyway, well, guys, that concludes the podcast. We're going to have to come back to that question because it's been about an hour. And
so we still got a little more time.
Come back to it.
I don't think anybody's minding that it's a little bit over an hour. So, what is your question?
I gotta take a nap. I'm tired. No. Well, actually, so let me see. So, basically, what is your guys' thoughts on this? So, do you feel like you have a person and say they want to get bigger, right? They want to get more muscle. They want to get bigger. I'm not worried about strength. They just want to get bigger. Do you think that having them train, say, 6 days a week at maybe an hour and a half each workout, right? Or have them train maybe four times a week, okay? So now it's less workouts, 4 days a week instead of 6, and train for 1 hour. It's a girl. Or a guy, sorry, a guy. It's a guy.
About what age? That matters.
So let's say he's right at a young man. Good age, 25, perfect age. Okay. No injuries, he's been lifting for about 2 years already. So he's got experience already.
Okay.
So my whole thing is this, what I'm trying to get at with this is, do you think that you can get the same regardless whether it's 6 days or 4 days, you can get the same type of results. It just depends on the way that the person's training and the amount of time too. You can do less time in the gym and still get the same amount of results. as a person who's in the gym more and more hours?
I think there's too many variables there.
No, this is just
about.
Well, there's a lot of variables, but what I'm saying is, and I know what you're saying. There is a lot of variables, but just off the top,
let's
of your
just say
head,
that their diet is completely on point.
Yeah, like
Their sleep
that's what
is
I mean.
on point.
Everything else is good.
They're not working a high active job. All those things are good.
All the factors are there. Everything's good.
Can you get just as much results from a 6 day a week? Hour and a half, did you say?
Yep, hour and a half
versus a 4 day
a week. Or even a 3 day a week, let's just say.
Or even a 3 day a week. I think
an hour.
I think it depends on the person. Yeah. Like I said, the genetic adaptations that people make towards training is so
but if this guy is genetically blessed or gifted, he could do training 6 days a week, 3 days a week. He's probably just going to get the same results regardless.
So if you're recovering, then you can train 6 days a week. Like if you feel like you're,
don't you feel like that could be, say, for instance, a guy can get these awesome results? He is just genetically gifted. Why would you have him in the gym 6 days a week, right? Why wouldn't you just have him 3 days a week? Save the guy's joints. If he's able to kill it in 3 days and get all this growth, why not just have him do 3 days a week? Why have him do 6 days a week?
Well, because you're actually getting more work in.
Yeah. So
if you're recovering,
so that's the point I'm making. That's what I'm trying to get at is, are you saying that? So that's where I'm at.
Right.
Are you saying though? So more work equals more results. Is that what you're saying?
As long as
if it's the same level of work,
if it's this, and
so
you're recovering, like you said.
Let's just say this guy's doing the 6 day a week thing at an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But he's doing the typical 8 to 12 rep range and everything.
Right.
Okay. But then on the other one, he's doing the training to failure. Every single set is just balls to the wall.
Right.
In 4 days a week. I think you could do it in 4 days a week.
Right. Okay, there you go.
Well, you would require a longer recovery training like that.
Comes down. Maybe. All the stuff you guys are talking about comes down to recovery. Their age, their diet, how hard they're training. If they can recover in 1 day a week, that's fine. Now, personally, I never go 6 days. I don't think it's necessary. I actually think it's better to do 2 days off in a row.
Yeah.
If you have to split the days off, that's fine. Can you get bigger with a 4-day workout? Absolutely. I used to do it all the time when I was younger. But those 4 days, you need to train.
That's right.
But if, like he said, if you're doing 4 days and you're not even getting enough stimulus, then there's no reason to recover. If you're doing 6 days, you're training heavy as shit every single day, your recovery may go to shot. Mm-hmm. So that's what it all comes down to is this person recovering in between workouts in order so they can do the whole stamina thing.
Right.
So it definitely, it also depends on how you construct the diet, now the workout. But 3 days a week, if you're a beginner that's overweight, it will work to a certain point. But if you're the seasoned veteran and you're trying to do something different 3 days a week, don't even get out of fucking bed. You need to go at least 4. I will tell you 3 days a week. You just might as well, if you ain't got enough time to do 4 days a week, you need to pick another fucking hobby.
I would just to add to that, and obviously there's always going to be something different, and that's where your expertise come in to figure out your client.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would for myself, when I first started getting into bodybuilding, I did the 6 day a week thing. But I was kind of following certain rep ranges. I was still training really hard, but I was just kind of following the rep ranges. And the 6 days a week got me to a certain point. And then I started kind of looking more into the HIIT style training with Dorian Yates and Mike Messer and all that.
That's what I did.
And that's where I ended up switching everything to 4 days a week. And I did 4 days a week. I did Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
Dorian did 4 days a week, right?
Yeah, he did 4 days.
And so that's how I did my workouts, and I did that for a few years, and it worked. It worked great. I mean, it got me further. And then what eventually kind of ended up happening was my adaptation to that 4 days. I tried to fit more work in.
Going back
during that 1 hour.
I
tried to fit more work into that 1 hour, and there just wasn't any more time, and I didn't want to be in the gym longer.
Right.
So I added another day. Long story short, started off at 4 days a week, and I ended up eventually training 6 days a week. And so Monday through Saturday, training and balls to the wall. But it was this progressive thing over time. It was 4 days a week, and then it was 5 days a week, and then 6 days a week. And towards the end, when I before I stopped, competing in bodybuilding, the thing was that there was actually 2 days of the week in there where I was doing a double workout, and I just felt but the thing was I felt like I always trained very hard. Every workout was super tough. arms, chest, legs, back, whatever it was. Like I was always trying to go as heavy as I possibly could, with good form, and I was doing a lot of reps and everything. And it was just kind of like hitting kind of this cap, I guess, in a sense where there weren't enough days left in the day to stay within that kind of that 1 hour time frame that I gave myself to train.
But you adapted to that, and that's why you kept getting the results. You didn't just say, fuck it, I don't know how to get more work in. You troubleshot your way around it.
Yeah.
And that's why, because as you're doing that explanation right there, you're giving us 2, 3, 4 different ways you train that adapted over time. So that's what it comes down to is, sometimes the answer is what specific program works. It's how long have I been doing this one? Do I need to change it up for a period of time?
And I would say, like, if you really did get a guy who you're debating to do 6 days a week or 4 days a week, whether you're doing like a high intensity or kind of like a more of a volume training style, whatever we want to call it, right? But this guy's only been in the gym for 2 years. 2 years isn't that much, honestly.
No. Can you consider the 30 years that we've all kind of,
if those first 2 years he met Dorian Yates and he figured everything out the first day he fucking met him, maybe 2 years is good.
He probably even doing shit right for him 2 years.
No, and that's the other thing too, right? There's things you got.
Well, even today, Dorian regrets what he did. A handful.
But people will never forget who that motherfucker is.
It's
definitely a small price to pay. That dude turning the tides on the whole bodybuilding.
And Coleman was another. I think Coleman was a 6 day a week guy.
6 days a week,
and he killed. He
trained every body part twice a week.
Yeah.
See, so he was kind of like an Arnold. Arnold was like that way
Nobody else would be able to do what he did. He was a genetic anomaly.
Right. Yeah.
Ronnie,
no way. Like he was even natural. He was
like it's nothing.
Yeah, even natural. He was a genetic anomaly.
Yeah. Well, you ever look at pictures when he played high school football when he got in body? He was still freaky.
He was huge.
His arms were like over 20 inches.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
he would have gotten into college football and stuff. I mean, I guess he was like that big. And
but
he was.
But and those points, like a new stimulus will be an effective stimulus for so long, and then you got to create a new stimulus on top of that, and then secondly on that point is recovery, because. And there's so many factors like when we go back to recovery.
Yeah, very important.
Because I'll tell you, there was a time when I was in my late 20s that I was training 6 days a week.
Yep.
I was doing Taekwondo 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, because I actually worked at the school. I was instructing and having to fight with every one of my individual private lessons and students and everything. And then I was doing jiu-jitsu 4 days a week. And you know what? I rhabdoed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I see that.
Oh, I did. I broke. Cold sweats.
If you guys don't know what rhabdo is, look it up.
Yeah.
Look it up.
It landed me in the hospital. You know what I mean? It's just that
camera's on.
But my mentality was go, 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 go. But my body's like, fuck you. And my body was like, no, I got more. And my body's like, you ain't got more. Fuck you.
Yeah. Sometimes the body wins.
And then eventually my body just went.
Body takes over.
Yep.
Yeah, even when contest prepping or losing body fat, recovery is a key. I think a lot of people overlook.
Yeah.
And they try to work out and do harder and harder. And sometimes I have to tell them, dude, you need to back the fuck off and throw some fucking fats on your diet and stuff for a day, sleep in, and then go back tomorrow. And they wake up and they look and they feel better and the weight's better. That cortisol builds up. It almost like it just puts you in a fucking wall. Mm-hmm. And the only way you can start making progress is to throttle back.
Wasn't that like Milo Sarsev's thing? Like when they joined his giant set camp, but everybody that came to him, he made him stay 2 weeks out of the gym.
Bodybuilding hardcore.
Yeah. But everyone that came to him, he's like 2 weeks out of the gym. And the guy's like, I've never taken 2 weeks off since I started bodybuilding.
Right.
2 weeks out of the gym. And then you come to me.
Here's actually a good one though. Because you and I were over 50. We're
I'm 50, not over 50.
You're over 50. No, because when you hit 50, you're over 50.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway,
technically you're right.
Technically, you're over 50. You're 1 day over. You're 50.
Right.
Sorry, I just want to make sure that you're in the same club as me, pal. No. What I was going to say was. So maintenance, what do you guys think? Minimum, just to maintain what you got. Say you're a seasoned lifter, you've been training for 10 plus years, you've got good muscle, whatever, and you're just like, okay, I just want to do maintenance now. I don't even want to, I'm busy, I got things, I don't want to be in the gym that much anymore. I'm just trying to maintain maybe not at the level that this guy, if he was training 4 or 6 days a week, maybe, you know, it comes down a little bit, but he still wants to maintain a good look, keep that muscle, at least, you know, most of it. What is the minimum to
Well,
you guys
it depends on the definition of the maintenance phase that you want to be at. Like, if that was to maintain, like, the biggest I've ever been.
No, that's what I said.
Like,
no, not being the biggest I've ever been.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You know, guys coming down, okay, he's like, he likes the size that he's at.
I'm not even maintaining 80% of the size I was. Like, I'm
80%.
No, I'm not even maintaining 80% of the size I was. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I was walking around like at 245.
Yeah,
you know
I was
what
like
mean?
250.
Yeah,
220.
Yeah, and now I'm like 215.
Maybe not as lean. I don't know.
Right.
It's different, but you know, if say for instance me, if I say I wanted to dedicate myself to bodybuilding again,
that's a hard question because
in 6 months I bet you I could be back there.
Yeah, that's a hard question because you're just like maintain. I just want to look good.
I know. I'm not saying I'm going to look broke. I could get back to where I was.
But like, what do you say looks good? Like, that's such an individual thing. Like,
well, no,
you know, like, I just want to look good,
but my whole
that could be at 185.
I'm only
pounds.
saying this because there are a lot of people who say they are busy. They're just got.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. You like a 2 day a week, say for instance. Would you ever recommend, hey, you know what, 2 days a week, get in there, hammer it 2 days a week, an hour for each, you know, do legs over body. At least you're getting it, and you can maintain at least some level of fitness with this 2 days a week.
Well,
textbook answer: muscle tone depletes after 36 hours. So,
well, yeah.
Okay, so I would say if
is that true? I've never heard that.
but then you stimulate and then
So muscle tone depletes within it's by the book 36 hours.
Don't ever use that tone with me again.
36 hours.
Tone. Yeah. So we don't use toning around here.
With that being said, however many hours there in the week, you're looking at like 3 to 4 days a week.
3 days
to not lose muscle tone.
Right.
And so
I don't know though.
But what exactly is muscle tone?
Your diet's been keeping check too. Yeah. So whatever you're currently eating and training, if you're like, this is what I like to look like, I want to stay like this, keep doing what you're fucking doing.
Yeah, right.
If you're saying, well, I want to maintain my back off a little bit, you're going to lose a little percentage of that.
Yeah.
Right. But you have to expect that. You're going to lose a little bit. But you still, if it's reasonable, you're like, hey, I don't mind losing a little bit. I just don't want to become completely like just lose everything and look like complete crap. Yeah. I want to at least look like I work out. You know what I mean?
Then you have to work out.
And maybe you can get by with I don't have time excuse if you're trying to maintain. But usually when somebody says that, it's like, I want to get in shape, but I don't have a lot of time. Meaning like, okay, well, obviously your head's in the wrong fucking place because you've got to find the time. But maintenance wise, 3 to 4 days a week. I mean, you don't have to lift as hard. Maybe just the repetition of getting the blood in the muscle will help keep it there. With maybe one exercise out of the bunch is really stimulus, and the rest are just pumping it up.
Right.
Something like that. But I would say you'd be better off to have more frequency and less intensity to keep the muscle there than you would to go less workouts.
Like say 5 times a week, half an hour training sessions.
No, I would say like 4 times a week. 45 minutes an hour. So.
I couldn't even conjure that mindset. I just want to maintain. It's just like when I come to the gym, I need to train with a purpose.
Yeah, I understand that. But there are a lot of people who do have that mindset, who do they just want to maintain. They just want to get in and do, like I'm not saying minimum, but it's true.
I'm not sure they do. I'm kind of on Jed on this one. It's kind of like
that I must have run into the wrong people because
I
run into these people often.
No, they're saying it. They're saying it, but I think they really believe it. Like, oh, really? You don't want to? You wouldn't want to be a little bit leaner than what you're at? Would you like a little bigger arms?
So what you're saying is that they're being lazy. Yeah. They're being lazy and they don't want to put in the work,
or they don't think they can. The minute you train them and they wake up that one morning, they see stuff showing up, they're like, oh, I can fucking do this too. Yeah. Oh hell, let's go. Let's see what I can do.
Yeah. I mean, a handful of it could be a self-defeatist attitude. It's like, I just don't think I can grow. I can't grow legs, so I'm not going to train.
Well,
legs.
I get those too.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm just fat, and this never goes away, and I guess I'll just always be fat. Like,
no, that's a fucking quitter's excuse.
But have you had that?
I've had people say that. I look at them like, that's a shit fucking attitude. There is a reason. Things happen for a reason. Your body doesn't just say, I want to be fat. There's a fucking reason.
There's things
it's not the textbook reason, so we got to sit here and troubleshoot this shit and figure it out. And it's going to take a while. It's going to suck because you got a body that's different from most people. So if you've got the willpower to suck it up and fucking deal with it, we're going to figure this shit out. And and they're going to have a better mentality than somebody who just wants to maintain it, or else they're not going to make it through that.
They can't be negative either. Right?
Yeah.
They need to go, okay, let's do it. Let's work hard. Let's see what we got to do.
Oh, there is that whole envisioning the end product. That does definitely have something to do with it.
But sometimes the client just needs to hear, I just had this yesterday.
See,
My client
happens.
And she'll know, if she's watching this, she'll know that it's her I'm talking about. And she said the same thing. She goes, I just don't think I have the body type to put on muscle. I just don't. I just don't think it's possible that I can put on muscle. And I'm like, well, then let's just stop because we're done. Like, why even bother? Like, why even waste the time then? And she's like, oh my God, you're right. Yeah, like, all right. Like,
it's true. Like, what are you doing in here?
Yeah, well, like,
if you really don't believe you can't get anywhere with it.
If you really believe it, then guess what? You will make it so. Like, you won't build,
Right.
You have to believe that you can change your body, For
real, yeah.
It's like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. I'm like, sometimes they have to hear it.
You know what's really funny about that? I'll get people, they say, oh, I can't lose weight no matter what I do. And as we start going through the process, they start having these issues where they can't make it to the gym, they can't cook their food, they're eating this because it was all that was there. And I couldn't have my diet food, but there happened to be like a triple decker pizza, so I just ate that because I thought it was the same. And then I look at them, I'm like, okay, you say you don't know why you can lose weight, but I am seeing a list of fucking reasons why you're fat. So when you say you don't have time for this, or you can't prep your food, or you can't do this, just put these reasons on a list, and on top of the list put this is why I'm fat. And then you got to troubleshoot and figure out how to get through those, because you're a product of your lifestyle, what you do every day, and you have to change your routine in order to be a different product.
There is no I can't, it's I won't.
Yeah,
that's what you're doing.
And when these people start trying to do what it takes to lose the weight, they start realizing, oh, these are the reasons why I can't, because now you have somebody pointing this shit out to them. They're the stuff that they thought was just, like I say, life isn't going to stop because you're on a program. You still have to do with your everyday stuff. You still have to take your kids to fucking football practice. So you have to figure out ways around that. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So they think they don't know why, but they really know why. And you start finding it out when you try to force them to hit a routine and keep falling off the train tracks every day.
Right. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. I like your idea though of like writing it up. These are the reasons why I'm fat. If you see that every day, you'll be like, oh, okay, well, perhaps I won't follow that.
Hey, it may hurt their feelings to say that, but sometimes getting your feelings hurt will get you off the fucking couch.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. You know how many times people make fun of me and I finally got tired of that shit?
Yeah.
So that's, this whole like cutesy hold your hand society shit. So I think, and you think obesity's an epidemic too. There's no relation to that. Sometimes people need their fucking feelings hurt, man. Get motivated.
Yeah.
Yeah, the truth sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
Truth will set you free,
and
guys.
you know what? The reason why I look the way I look is because I'm a lazy ass.
Yeah, and if you want
you shredded.
If you want to stop catching shit, get off your ass and do something about it.
Yeah.
Don't make everybody conform to you.
Another good one today,
We're here
guys.
to help you.
Yes.
We're here to help
guys.
you.
Good stuff. Hope you guys learned something from this topic today. A lot of good thoughts on it. Again, just bottom line, train hard. Don't stop. Train hard. Keep believing in yourself. You'll get what you want. Keep on going.
Don't be stubborn. Ask for help. You'll make leaps and bounds if you ask people that know what they're doing.
Or you guys can give Jed a call and he can make you a list.
We'll make you a list of
his
why
will be on the bottom here, on the bottom of the screen.
Why you're skinny with
Jed,
no
call
money.
Jed.
$50 a list.
I actually don't mind taking some free
$50
time and troubleshooting. If somebody's in an issue and they'll sit there and talk to me and they just want to troubleshoot.
Free time.
Yeah, well, if somebody's on a program that's not working, and
ask for Jed. Free time.
I'll sit there and talk to them and be like, okay, we'll try this. I'll definitely help people troubleshoot if they want to ask me stuff.
I do. I give them free consultations.
Jeff's the king of free, guys.
Yeah, that's right.
You guys want to come to the gym one day? You see him sitting down at a table, pop up, have a seat, ask him one question. You'll be there for a good hour or two.
A good hour and a half.
No problem.
We have no problem proving our work.
You'll know that topic through.
That's it. All right. Yeah. Well, awesome. I'm Mark. This is the 3 J's.
And
Jeff, Jed, and Jody. And we'll see you guys next time. Aloha.